Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reality Check Podcast. You already know Diana, and you already know that I am Mare, and we have a very, very special guest here with us, looking as beautiful as ever. Her name is Miriam Neka from Love is Blind. So she has, a couple of names, but her name is Miriam from Love is Blind. So Miriam, can you just say hi to the people for us?
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be on your speakers or wherever you're watching. My name is Miriam. I was on season 5 of Love is Blind.
Yes, she was. And we are here to give her a platform so that she can talk a little bit more about what happened on the show, give us a little bit about her experience, and also talk about a little bit of the tea that has been dropped concerning her and all of the little drama that happened with her and a couple of, not even a couple, one person, particularly on the show. But, my girl Miriam, she made such an impression on us because, one, when we found out that she was a Naija babe, we were like, okay. So
that's a girl.
Then they tried to make her scenes a little bit. I was like, oh no, what is happening here? So we were like, she's Naija, she's educated, and number 3, we don't play with our Igbo sisters. So we are so grateful to have you on. Okay.
Thank you so much. Miriam, again, we just want to thank you so much for being on. We are so excited to have you. Before we dive in, we like to do, we launched a new segment.
Yes.
And we just want to have a little bit of fun with our segment. So we did ask everyone to bring a drink.
Okay.
So our new segment is called, for those of you that are listening, What Are You Drinking? Okay, so we're going to start with Mare. Mare's going to tell us, bring your cup, show us what's in your cup. What are you drinking, Mare?
I'm drinking coffee.
So
I'm sorry,
boring.
I
so
have
dry.
to stay awake. If I had alcohol, I would fall asleep, like I said before. So I have to stay awake. So coffee it is for me right now.
No problem. Miriam, what are you drinking?
Okay, drum roll, please.
Let's do it.
Water.
Nice. Not a whole drum roll for water. I love it. No, but water is important.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. This makes me feel bad.
Stay hydrated.
No. Don't feel bad at all. No, don't feel bad at all. I'm also drinking coffee, by the way. So I've got, my coffee cup next to me. But it's been a lot. I love drinking water.
Fair.
If I had time, it would have probably been a smoothie here. I'm not too much of a coffee drinker. But yeah, I have just been so busy, and I need help staying
hydrated.
awake and staying alert and energetic. And yeah, I just drink a lot of water. It's great for your skin. So
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not drinking water. I guess we can call this, I'm going to call it Diana Sunrise.
Ooh.
It's a cocktail that I've made, that I came up with. It has tequila, ginger ale, and some mango nectar. Yes.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
Yeah. It's actually really good, especially when you you put a little bit of lemon in it, shake it up. It's pretty good, pretty refreshing too. So that's what I'm drinking. Yay. Okay, everybody.
Are you close to Houston? Because I'm curious to try that now.
We'll talk about Houston. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll talk. I can make it for you soon. Don't worry. We'll talk. All right. So Miriam, as we have all seen the season, you've seen the season, and Netflix, or whoever edited, they just did not do right by you.
At all.
They did not do right by our girl. So we want to give you the opportunity today to be able to clear up all the things that they got wrong. So let's just start with, who is Miriam?
Oh gosh, thank you. Yeah, they really did me dirty. Who is Miriam? Miriam is your fun-loving, kind, bubbly, adventurous, brilliant, woman who's got big dreams and wants to see them accomplished.
Yes.
Should I really start from the beginning?
Go for it.
Grew up in Nigeria, loved the experience of growing up there, being exposed to all those different ethnicities. Different tribes and cultures, foods, the colors, the vibrant culture, just everything about being Nigerian definitely made me who I am today and put this fire inside me that I love. And I moved out of Nigeria after high school to study in the States, and I have pretty much been here since then. I visit from time to time, and living over here, it's been great. I love learning about new cultures and people. So Houston was, the perfect place for that, even though I didn't want to be in Houston at first. I was considering many other different schools in many other different states. My dad wanted me here because we have some family here, and he didn't want me to be by myself. I don't know. What is Miriam going to do? I initially had dreams of becoming a medical doctor, but I fell in love with chemistry more. And I pursued a career in that field, and I have worked in different industries. And they've all just, my dad wanted me to be in Houston because we have family here. He didn't want me to be alone. That's how I chose to stay here. And it's been great. So I remember what I was saying now. I loved chemistry, so I decided to pursue a career in that field, and that has enabled me to work in different industries.
Yes.
And but at the core, I've always wanted to also be an entrepreneur. So I'm thankful to have finally started on that journey. Awesome. That's how, my baby Zach and Lucy came about, and she's only a couple of months old, but we're happy about the progress we're making so far. Good. And what do I like to do for fun? I like to travel, cook, shop, draw, paint, relax.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
seem
that.
Very chill.
I love. Yeah. Just curious, what state in Nigeria are you from?
Abia State.
Oh, you have an Abia sister over there.
I'm also from Abia State.
Diana, Abia State's girl.
Yes, from one.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Lagos, but yes, I'm originally from Abia. That's awesome.
That is so awesome.
That's cute.
My
that's
Abia
so
sister. Awesome.
What about
awesome.
Imo States.
Imo State.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Wine.
So I got a little bit of English, so it's okay.
So you get a couple of people from there. That's cool.
That's awesome. Cool. That's awesome. No, but I love that. I love the fact that you grew up in Nigeria, so you have this different perspective on life. You came here. You said after high school or for high school?
After high school. After high school,
you studied here, and then per the show, we know that you also you were in Saudi Arabia for some time. You said you worked in different. I think you worked in academia. You were at a research institution in Saudi Arabia. Can you tell us what brought you to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
What brought you back to Houston, and how did that story come about? Because you are very well traveled.
Yeah, thank you. So before moving to Saudi Arabia, I was working in this pharmaceutical company in Houston, and honestly, it was very unpleasant being there because so many things had happened, and I was like, gosh, I need a change. I need something different. And so I started job hunting and stuff. And then, somebody from this institution in Saudi Arabia, this university, they reached out to me on LinkedIn. And I was concerned at first. I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? I mean, I said I wanted something different, but not that different. So, but I showed it to my boyfriend at the time, and he was like, yeah, of course, let's look into it. And so, we said looking into it. We looked at all the links that the recruiters sent, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such an impressive institution. It's like a playground for scientists, really. It's like a dream world because they have all these resources that just enable you to, work at your full potential. Like state-of-the-art instrumentation, brilliant professors from all over the world, students from all over the world. It's a postgraduate institution. So I was working with students pursuing their PhDs and their masters, doing incredible research. And I wanted to develop my, I wanted to challenge myself technically also, in chemistry. So I was like, why not? This is like that was like the perfect time to do it. I was, not necessarily tied to Houston. So I took the leap and I went, and it was a wonderful experience. I was there for like 3 years. And when I filmed Love is Blind, it was when I had started moving back from Saudi Arabia.
Got it. So you were still in transition.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
On the show, were you explaining it like that, and when you saw it, and then they chopped it up?
They chopped it up. I mentioned Saudi Arabia and my experience there so many times in the pods. Even my connection, one of the gifts he gave me was a map of, the places that he would like us to go together.
I see.
He put stars in certain places, and Saudi Arabia was one of those places.
Oh, that's cute.
Because obviously I was like, working there and talking about it. So it was crazy how they just made that look so
ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah. And it really took off from there.
Took off.
You know what I mean? It really took off, and people knew you as that. And it's just like, no, if you actually just take a chance, just go to her page and she explains it perfectly, you know? So I think when we saw it, we cleared it up and we're like, yeah, Miriam's had put some respect on her name because she is a brilliant woman. You know what I mean? Not everyone gets that opportunity to go and work at a research institution such as this. And it sounds like an amazing opportunity. So is this where Zach and Lucy was born, or like how was that? What was the origin of Zach and Lucy?
So working there, honestly, over there, the work-life balance is incredible.
Oh, girl, talk about it, please.
We want to know because
what?
We've only been here and we've heard stories, so please tell us.
Oh my goodness. Like, it was smooth sailing, so chill. It wasn't like as crazy as working in the States where you're just always like, oh my gosh, you just feel the pressure constantly. Everything's just like chill. Like, Habibi, mashallah.
Habibi, mashallah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
And it's like,
I love it.
So in that kind of environment, you are allowed, or you have the liberty of so much alone time. And even though I, loved my colleagues, they were so nice. It made me feel like family. They're so hospitable, so sweet, completely different from like all the scary stuff you would hear, on the media. But anyways, in that chill environment, right, I started like asking myself, what do I want to do? I feel like I'm not doing enough, because I always feel that way, that I'm not doing enough. I feel like, Miriam, you've got like all this like aspirations, like, how are you going to start? So I started thinking, and I wanted to start with something that I'm very familiar with. And so, as you guys probably know, I struggled with dry inflammatory skin. And I was like, I need to get into the market, but I also want to, deliver something that is beneficial to people. Not so, not just because I just want to do something meaningful, something I'm also passionate about. I also wanted my business to be woman powered. I wanted it to also support Africa in some way, West Africa, starting with West Africa. And so, when I started what you now see as Zach and Lucy's, our buddy butters, when I started using them for myself and seeing the difference, because I would be seeing even some blemishes on my body and they would like be fading, and I was like, what is going on? Wow. And I'd look, and all this inflammation that would like pop up here and there, they weren't like showing up anymore. And I was like, wait, hold on, maybe I need to share this with people out there that might be struggling with the same thing as I did. And so I started like giving little samples to like my close friends and family, and like having them test it out and give me their feedback, and they loved it. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's put this out there, because there wasn't like any moisturizer out there that was doing it for me. And you know, your skin is it's our biggest organ. It's very important to be mindful of what you put on it. So and I'm all about health and wellness. So I was like, I feel like I've got an incredible product to deliver to the market. And so while I was in Saudi Arabia, I was thinking about it, and like I started working on it. And you know, I would travel between Saudi and the States, like, you know, for holidays sometimes, or whenever I just missed the States. And so I was slowly putting the pieces together, and
then it came about. I love that.
That's amazing. And I think it's also goes to show, you know, there are a lot of like beauty brands out there, especially like, you know, some Black owned and others not, where they come up with ideas like body butters and hair items, because obviously the beauty industry is huge, it's major, but sometimes those concoctions are created by accident or just by trial and error, and which I'm sure for you were doing the same thing. But I think the added benefit for you is the fact that you're utilizing your chemistry knowledge, right? To create these items. And that goes even further to show like why your product can and should be trusted, because you understand the chemistry behind it too as well. So
absolutely.
And there's also one thing I want to say to people out there, anybody, regardless of what industry your entrepreneurship is in, there's always going to be somebody else doing something similar. Or don't be discouraged. Don't tell yourself, oh, but somebody's already doing this. For example, how many fashion brands are there out there? But every day somebody's like, you know, coming up with something. And there's still there's enough room for everybody, you know, to succeed. You just got to put in the work, stay dedicated, do not listen to the haters.
Absolutely.
And if you feel like you're bringing something that's different from what's already out there, like something more special, like you should try to answer a question: what is missing? What can I deliver? And if you feel like you have that, you should definitely run with it.
Okay, Miriam, dropping knowledge.
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it.
Dropping knowledge. Okay, Miriam.
Love is Blind can't do somebody as brilliant as her any justice. Anyway,
you know
I knew it. So
they don't have enough brilliant women.
Look at how calmly she just speaks and just is like just dishing it. But this is our type of women.
We've been trying to keep our composure, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to break loose.
Like, yes.
Oh my goodness. No, I absolutely love that. It's so true, because honestly, like, nothing in life is easy. You know what I mean? And I think it just takes a lot of consistency and dedication. So I'm really happy that we have to like someone to look at, you know, the personification of what dedication and consistency looks like. So really, honestly, I really, really do appreciate you. And we are here supporting your business. After this, I have to place my order, but
we're going to place our
orders right after. Yeah, so please, we will definitely support. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, I'm floored. I'm really floored, because obviously, like, even as you're talking, I have so many other questions, you know, but that we can talk about offline, about like how you did it and everything, because, you know, we all have these aspirations. Like, I can only imagine how it was for you to, you know, get is it sponsors or people who are going to invest in your business, and like, you know, how you had to go through all those hurdles, those stories. Like, you have something like important to share. And unfortunately, sometimes something like a reality television show isn't going to necessarily like show and evoke that side of you and that aspect of you that speaks so highly about something that you're so passionate about. Right. So I truly, truly appreciate it. I'm just I'm honored. We are honored to have you here. And you're just I love intelligent women. Diana can tell you one thing.
When she hears,
can't be stupid around here.
You can't. You got to come correct when it's.
I love it.
So we honestly do appreciate you. So we love the story, and I'm so happy that we have this moment and this platform to be able to clear it up and fix what Netflix messed up. I'm going to say it because they messed it up, right? So we'd love to know also, what brought you to Netflix? Yeah. How did you get to Love is Blind? We've heard a lot of things about they recruited a lot of people. Were you one of the people that they recruited, or did you apply? Like, what is that story?
So somebody had sent me the application, via Instagram. And I was like, okay, I had seen season 1 and I was like, I love this show. It was funny. It was interesting. It was different. And I was like, okay, why not?
Why not
That's
try,
one thing
right?
about me is I am adventurous, like, within reason.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, because
as we see,
to take that leap, that's scary. So
yeah. I mean, I was newly single, and I was like, why not? Like, I wasn't familiar with dating apps at that time, so I threw in the application. I forgot about it. I think so many months passed by. I don't even remember if it was, I don't know how many months passed by. And then I don't even know if it was even up to a year. I don't remember. I have to go search my computer for the original application date. Then January of last year, while I was in Houston, a producer called me and they're like, "Hi, Miriam, we came across your application and we would love to have you on the show. We think you're amazing." So, I had a little chat with the producer. And then I was actually even driving at the time. So I was driving, I was connected to my car, and we had like follow-up calls after that, and then some video calls, and then I got confirmation that I was gonna be final cast, like cast of season 5 in like March, I think.
Wow. So you were not scared at all to embark on the process?
I mean, I was scared, but like I said, in this life, sometimes you just gotta take
chances.
You just gotta go for it. Just go for it.
I don't know. I do enjoy challenges. I do enjoy navigating, unfamiliar terrains. So I was like, why not? Let's see how this goes.
One of the questions that I really want we just had Linda Chiamaka, the other Evo sister.
Linda. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's so fun.
She's so much fun. We just had a conversation with her, and one of the questions that I regretted not asking that I'm gonna definitely ask you is, we're Igbo people, so we know our parents. How did you explain to your parents this process and what you're about to do? Yeah. And what was that
They probably said, don't shame us.
You know what I mean? Like, what was that conversation like? Please.
Don't shame us.
Oh my gosh. It was so crazy. Okay, so my parents are traditional Nigerian parents.
I can imagine.
But they're pretty chill.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Interesting.
As long as, you're not just trying to do stupid stuff that'll just be like shameful. I mean, honestly, looking back now at how I was portrayed on that show, I'm not proud of it, to be honest. But like going into it, I didn't know that's how everything was going to go down.
Of course.
My parents, they're pretty open-minded. They let us explore and do things. I mean, it was very unusual for them. So I had to really explain it. And I was like, okay, if you have time, watch the show. Maybe if you watch it, everything will make sense.
Yeah.
They've not watched it till today.
I was gonna
and they still haven't seen it season 5.
Really?
And I doubt they will.
Okay. So it's not like you rush into your family because they don't know.
Yeah. Now, even my brothers, they don't watch it. My sister, I don't think she even like watches it. But like, obviously, my siblings, stay watching it because they stay watching this season. So I mean, I told them, okay, just a heads up in case I make it to the end, and they need you to come on here, yada 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 yada. And so and it was really like quick too, because you find out shortly before filming starts. So it's not like something you get to talk to your parents about for months and allow them to process and everything like that. That's not what I did.
So when you say shortly before filming starts, is it like 2-3 weeks, or is it like a month or 2 months before filming starts that you find out and stuff?
It's definitely a couple of weeks before filming starts that you're notified. Yeah.
So you don't really have much time. You just got to notify your job, hey, I'm out, and then we start. Wow.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks. I think I started getting those emails about like me being a cast member in like March, and then we started filming in April.
So, wow, that's not a long time to make a huge transition, from your life.
And then can you imagine? I was in Saudi at the time, so can you imagine how much stress
that was a lot?
Moving from like one continent to another and then settling in and like, you know, getting ready. It was crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at myself back then, like watching some of those scenes play back and how like I looked and everything. I was like, girl, you were going through it. You were stressed.
We couldn't tell.
We
you
could not tell. You
looked great.
Yeah, we could not tell.
You know, that's like what they say, you know, you can't look like what you're going through, right? So you really didn't look like what you were going through. So you looked great, though. Yeah. So since when you guys started filming, when we were watching, we noticed, I mean, one thing that a lot of people didn't talk about online was just like how it looked like the women were having a whole bunch of fun. Like you guys looked like you guys were having a blast in the quarters. Last season, it was a very catty women's like quarters, and so this season I was like, Diana, it looks like they're having so much fun, like
a lot
in there,
of empowerment.
Like what is happening?
A lot of
and the men on their side, they're looking like they're having such deep conversation about, you know, all of their experiences. Yeah, I'm like, they're crying. The girls are like, like, you know, laughing and having fun. So I'm wondering, like, Miriam, is it true? Did you guys have a blast in the women's quarters, or was that just like a one moment type thing?
Yes. By the way, I didn't see the last season. I didn't even see too much of season 3 either.
Okay.
You didn't miss anything.
You didn't miss anything.
At all.
Yes. The bonds in the lounges between the women, it was organic. Yeah, we just like got along. We weren't unnecessarily catty, and I think even the producers noticed that, because that's what everybody would expect. All these girls dating the same man, they're just gonna start hating each other and talking shit right off the bat. I mean, there were some people who didn't get along in there, weren't too familiar with each other, but yeah, for the most part, we were friendly. We're playing around, dancing, having dance parties. You know, sometimes we'd like make breakfast. You know, one person would be like, okay, I'm going to make the eggs. I'll make the sausages. I'll make the avocado toast. Do you want a drink? I'll get you a drink. Do you want a snack? I'll get you a snack. Are you okay?
I love that.
And if anybody's like feeling down, all like gather and like, you know, try to talk to them, play all these games. Like, because, I mean, it's very interesting, unique experience, and to go through that with somebody or with other people, that makes it better because they understand it. I mean, we can talk about it and explain it to others, but it's not the same as like if you had gone through it yourself.
Absolutely. Who did you build friendships with?
Stacy, I love Stacy.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Linda, Chandra.
Good.
There's another girl, I can't say her name. Who else? I love Renee because she looks like
oh my gosh, she looks like a great ball of time.
Yeah. You know, I'm the ones. Okay, I'm not like super close to Renee. I'm just saying I love her right off the bat. Her energy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the girls I'm closest to are Stacy, Linda, Chandra. Who else? I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. Maris is pretty cool too. But yeah, I have no problems with the girls. Yeah, I love everybody. Love Erica, Paige. Paige is so cute. She's so adorable. She's got like this little baby doll voice. Who else
Did you get to see her? I don't remember what she looked like.
Everybody is so sweet in their own unique way. I wasn't close to Aaliyah, but yeah, she seems like such a lovely person. Who am I missing? Johnny. You know, I've always liked her. Just call her a blue-eyed beauty. Yeah, I think she looks like an absolute doll.
Yeah, she does.
She does actually.
She does. Yeah. She absolutely does.
Am I missing anybody? Oh, Lydia. With Lydia, it was just fun dance. Not again, I wasn't like close to Lydia, but we're friends. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's no problem. No problem at all. We understand. Mare, did you have any?
There was something I was going to ask, but then it just skipped my brain for just a second. I don't know why. I hate when that happens. Yeah. But that's like really That's interesting. You have a nice, interesting collective of people that you connected with there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the moment, when we did see you, despite your story not really developing on the show, there's just like one image that stands out in my head, like of you in the quarters.
Yeah, I remember.
And that one image is just you. I think it was you, Chandra, and Linda sitting on the couch, just looking and just staring right at that moment where Lydia was like consoling Aaliyah, and that whole crying situation, the whole Uche, saying whatever he was saying about Aaliyah's, just indiscretions in the past and how Aaliyah was feeling. So that's that one image. And we were like, man, like, I wish we really understood what those, what you three girls were like thinking in that moment that was happening. So if you are able to dish with us, like, what was going on in your head at that moment when that was happening?
Oh my gosh. I think I had probably just woken up from a nap because.
Hey, okay. She's like,
I was just woken up. I was like, what the hell?
What is happening? Why are they crying? What's going on?
I had just woken up, I think. Yeah, from my eyes. Because you can tell on my face, I'm just like lost. And then second, honestly, I wasn't meddling in other people's business.
Yeah.
And I didn't like just openly discuss who I was talking to in the pods. Mm-hmm. But I think, me and Aaliyah kind of like figured out that we're both talking to Uche at some point. Mm-hmm. So whenever she came in crying, I didn't want to seem nosy. So when everybody flocked towards her to go console her or anything, I just stayed where I was and like minded my business because like I said, it's not like she and I were close, if she and I were close where we talked about everything together, like every time, in the lounges. Yeah, absolutely. If I had seen her like that, I'd just rush towards her as well. So yeah, I had no idea what was going on and I just wanted to keep minding my business. I just like,
No, I can understand. You just woke up.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it actually makes sense. So like, I guess that leads me to the question where I think earlier this week Uche had reported someone had asked like, oh, why didn't you try to pursue the other like Igbo women or something like that
on the show,
and he said that he did try to pursue them, but they realized that it wasn't like working. Is that true? Did he try to pursue you in the pods?
Okay, so what I can say is him and I dated in the pods, right? And I broke up with him on like, I think it was day 5.
Okay.
So. I don't quite remember. Yeah, so, during that time, like, some women were sharing that they were having some, unpleasant experiences with him. And I hadn't experienced that. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt until I experienced the unpleasant side. And I think that was, day 5 or so. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is not
It's not for you. Yeah. Yeah. I think then if that's the case, like if you guys did date, it makes sense to stay away from, Aaliyah and allow her to have the moments that she's having independent of all the things that are going on. Because it can definitely come off as messy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like the other one did. Like the other one did.
I know you're friends with her, sis.
I'm sorry. I know that's your friend, but she did.
We're not gonna.
But no. So definitely we appreciate and we respect the fact that you just said let me keep my boundaries, which is what
the other one did not do. No, but but I think I talked to you, Diana, a little bit about it as we were watching it. I said I really admired the fact that maybe admire is too much of an adjective there, but like I actually loved the fact that Stacey did not say who she was dating. Remember when she had said like, I'm not going to talk about it, and I'm like, that's absolutely right. And one of the things I didn't like in the pods in previous seasons and also this season, sometimes people will ask about who are your other connections. I'm like, don't ask me that question. Let's focus on me and you, and that should be all that matters, right? We shouldn't allow whatever's going on with me and other people to taint what you and I have. Let that be genuine between you and I. So I appreciate that you took the same strategy, and I think that was important. And also, it also doesn't create any division between you and the other woman who's also, you know, talking to the same guy that you're talking to, which is the same way that it would be in real life too, as well. Exactly. Like, you don't want to do that. Yes. So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So outside of you dating Uche, did you make any other connections?
Yeah. Connor. That was
girl, who is Connor?
Yeah,
because we were like, who is Connor? When somebody commented on one of our stuff, I was like, Connor, I beg, Owonya. I'm like, who is that? Like, I had to actually look him up. What is he, a geoscientist, right? Like, I looked him up later. Is that who he is? That's what he works as, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, can you tell us about him?
Me and Ernesto were chatting for a little bit. It wasn't serious though. And then
Ernesto's the one that burped on the day with Stacy, right?
Yeah. And then he was sent home. I was shocked. I was like, oh no, it was starting to get interesting.
Okay, so you did have a connection with Connor. How come we didn't get to see that like what came of that?
Honestly, he didn't. Several things impacted why, you know, we didn't work out. But one of them was also that, yeah, he said he wasn't comfortable with all the exposure that could come from this.
He's on Love is Blind.
Exactly. It's like,
okay, so he signed up for Love is Blind and then was afraid of the exposure from Love is Blind.
Wait, is that why they didn't show more of you guys' story or what?
I guess so. You know, they granted his wish, which is fine. I'm happy about it.
yeah, I guess so, right?
Yeah. So,
okay, so there was, you know, I guess we'll touch on it a little bit later, but like the moment that basically brought a little bit more attention to you in this Love is Blind story is when Uche and you had the disagreement and that whole thing that was happening during the barbecue, and the TikTok streets and people on social media were like, you know, Uche had told Connor something that prevented him from moving forward with you. And again, it's all alleged, right? But does it have any truth to why it is how that he spoke to you in the manner that he did that day?
So on the day of the barbecue, right? Okay, so actually, let's take it back a little bit. Prior to the barbecue filming, after we're done with the lounges and the pods, when the cast would hang out casually, I would hear different things that he was saying, that Uche was saying about me. And I was like, what the hell? Why is he saying these things? But I wouldn't pay, you know, attention to it. Mm-hmm. I'll just like, you know, just let it go, whatever. I was like, I was focused on other things and trying to move forward and stuff like that. And then barbecue came, and when we were getting ready to go on set, a castmate told me, yo, Miriam, did you hear what Uche said? I was like, no, what did he say again? What else?
Like, what now, right? Come on now, I'm tired.
You know, castmate was like, yeah, you know, he told Connor that, you know, you're looking for a sugar daddy and that you're not there for the right reasons.
Yeah. Oh God.
And I was like, what the hell? Are you freaking kidding me? And, you know, I was so upset and I was infuriated. Oh, wow. And another cast member like confirmed that. They confirmed that, you know, they're like, yeah, that's what he's been saying. I was like, what? I had no idea. That was my first time hearing that. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what is up with this man? What is his problem? Why would you say that about me, especially after I have been so vocal about, you know, how driven I am, how hardworking I am? I mean, you see what I do, how I carry myself, the goals that I set for myself, how I put in the work. And then, you know, you go ahead and say this, I'm there for the wrong reasons and I'm looking for a sugar daddy. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? And if I'm looking for a sugar daddy, I would not come on Love is Blind. That's right. This is not the show to come on for that. And knowing what I know now, it's safe to assume I make more than the men that were on our season.
We were gonna bring that up because the women on this season were quality women.
Exactly.
The men
Not so much.
Yeah. We're still a little concerned.
Not all of them. I mean, I don't know, but not so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, after I heard that, I was so upset. And gosh,
rightfully so.
I was like, going into this barbecue, if this man tries me, I will lose my shit. And so, when that conversation was happening, he walked in to where the girls were sitting, and where he tried to shut me up. Yeah, I was already like bubbling on the inside. And so, I was doing a good job of containing myself. But then when he started like attacking my credentials, trying to make fun of me, trying to say stupid stuff about where I work, where I live, whether or not I have a business. After all of this has been explained to you, trying to embarrass me. I mean, I was like, okay, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to call you out for the piece of shit that you are. And so, I was so upset. I don't think I've ever been that upset in my entire life, because what the hell? I don't even know you. And you just have taken it upon yourself to go around saying like vile, destructive and damaging things about me, and then come and say it again in front of the cameras. Are you stupid? So I went off, I think, for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Really?
It was really long. There was a lot there was a lot that was said that wasn't even shown. It got to a point that the producers actually they were like, Miriam, calm down. So what you guys saw was like
a little bit of
the beginning of it and a little bit of the end of it.
Wow.
Okay, that makes sense.
It does. And just even speaking with you now, you definitely have a very calm disposition, calm demeanor. You're very, you know what I mean, just subdued and calm. So to hear, it doesn't shock me that you don't have many moments like that or ever had a moment like that in your life. You know what I mean? But that makes me wonder, where did his level of vitriol come from so quickly? Because from what we saw from our vantage point, you were not the only one. Actually, let me say on the record, you were not talking at all to him. It was the woman next to you speaking, and Stacy, and then somebody else, I can't remember, that were actually trying to clarify for him whatever the conversation was with Lydia. And at some point you were like, no, Uche. And as soon as you said that, boom, he went on attack and singled you out above everybody else that was speaking. Where do you think that came from?
I don't know.
This man knows
issues.
Yeah, he certainly does have issues. I did tell Diana, as a viewer, as somebody watching, I mean, from the jump, I didn't like Uche. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but there's something that I would say as a viewer, he's just coming off a little bit too polished. And also like with his story with Lydia, I was like, there's some context here missing here and there. I don't understand what's going on. But what I just noticed, I was like, with a lot of women and the women that are women of color, and I don't have to like paint him this way. This is just from me looking at it. He never had a calm tone talking to them. It's almost like he just like snapped immediately, whether it's him yelling and cussing at Aaliyah on the phone, or whether it is the way that he's even interacting with Lydia, and then also the way that he just immediately came off and came at you, and then utilizing some words. I pay attention to words a lot, because words really are something that either these are things that are in your subconscious, and these are things that are in your behavior that are coming out and you're saying them now, right? So when he said bitter, I said, what a word to utilize against a Black woman. I was like, why would you call her bitter? Like, and what is bitter about this woman that we are seeing in front of our TV show?
Your fellow Igbo person.
Your fellow Igbo woman. Like, and you're saying that she is bitter. And I'm like, bitter for where? But that word, is something that's been utilized against Black women all for decades, for hundreds of years, especially in consideration of our pursuit of love and our pursuit of love for Black men. And sometimes when Black men say that about us, and when people say that about us, it makes us seem like, we don't want their happiness. We don't want anybody else's happiness. I was like, Miriam is not bitter. What makes her bitter?
Exactly. It's the exact opposite of that. If anything, he was the bitter one. You're the bitter one. You're the one that came to the barbecue trying to pick a fight with everybody. You're the one that is just like going around pestering Lydia. I've got the screenshots. I've got this. Then you go to Milton and then you're trying to talk him out of like proposing or, talk him out of his relationship with Lydia. And then, dude, you just, you're the salty one. You're upset. I think his ego was bruised, in several different ways. Me breaking up with him in the pods, Aaliyah dumping him
leaving
in the pods, and in front of the
it makes
whole world.
Sense. It makes sense.
Then I guess it probably triggered a sense for him to validate himself and save face, and so he kept trying to do what he could do, I guess, to feel like he had the upper hand. So it's just quite unfortunate, to be honest.
Absolutely. So in this moment now, we want to pass the mic and give you the opportunity, if you do remember, because I know this was also a while ago, if you do remember what you were trying to say, what were you trying to say in that moment before he had so rudely cut you off and called you bitter?
Honestly, I don't even remember what I was trying to say.
Fair enough.
It's been like, a year and a half. I don't remember. I never was like invested in that entire Lydia Uche Aaliyah thing. I don't care for the details.
Fair.
It's none of my business. I don't keep stuff like that in my mind. I have like so much
going on that you do.
Yeah.
That you do.
Yeah, I don't even remember, honestly, what I was going to say then.
No, good. Okay.
It's crazy.
So let's segue to the reunion. Girl, we now get to the reunion that we as the viewers thought was stupid, ridiculous, and completely unnecessary. It didn't actually, reunions are supposed to bring closures to stories, and they didn't even bring closure to like 1/10 of the stories that were there. Some things that we found out that I thought we didn't really need to find out. But at the end of the reunion, they were playing a game. And this game, Nick and Vanessa Lachey were asking the cast members questions, and they had to write it on the board. And this is the first time also for the people that are listening that Love is Blind has done this.
Have ever played a game.
And they have done this type of a game. And one of the questions that they asked at the game was, what does Miriam do for a living? Now, it's in my opinion, I felt like asking that question was a way to continue to embarrass you and continue to also perpetuate whatever the producers had already mixed, chopped, and that nonsense that they had done at the beginning of the season. So what did you think of that moment? When you heard that question, what were your immediate reactions and thoughts?
I mean, I was pissed just like watching that. I was like, what the hell is this? Are these people serious? This is so distasteful and insensitive and outright disrespectful. Disrespectful is the word, because even if I wasn't at the reunion, if you needed me, like you guys, production edited that scene to make me seem so questionable. That's a damage to my reputation that I now have to keep correcting for God knows how long. And that is just so unfair. It's so unnecessary. And so if they were going to have a reunion, and they were going to, if they truly wanted to clear the air, the very least they could have done is, I don't know, over a Zoom call.
I know.
Oh, we have Miriam
here
to answer your burning question. We know this scene caused, a lot of raised eyebrows and had people questioning whatever. So for the record, we have Miriam here to clear the air. You could have done that and you didn't. Instead, you chose to play a stupid game at my expense. Thankfully, majority of the cast know what I do, and they answered, to the best of their knowledge. Because I mean, even when we hang out, it's not as if we're saying, "Oh, hi."
What do you do? Right.
Like, first of all, there's also so many other things, or there are other people whose professions or job titles they should be questioning, not mine. Everything about mine is verifiable. Google is free. You can check out my Instagram if you're lost. You can check out Zach and Lucy's Instagram and website if you need guidance. You can reach out to me. I'll holler back. I'll answer your questions. So that was so unnecessary and petty. And I was about to drop the F-bomb.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
We understand because it's damaging.
Yeah, I exactly. Our character is all we have.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys have like taken it upon themselves to destroy my image for
I mean, it is for no gain, for entertainment purposes.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that we risk that, as castmates going on a show, but there should be somewhere they draw the line. And if they do cross that line, then they should take necessary steps to rectify it. Not continue messing around with the situation.
Absolutely.
Because it's so funny how if anything is said about the leadership aspects, like the executive production and stuff about the show, all of a sudden the showrunner pops up in a news article or some like big media platform and sets the record straight. So he knows the importance of that, but then for castmates, you choose not to give them that same grace. That's messed up.
It is. No, yeah, it is messed up. And I think the other element to it as you're talking and as I'm looking at you is, it's not that you're, any old scientist. You are also a Black female scientist. And you have to think about, in every piece of adventurous avenue that we take, in every occupation that we have, we know it doesn't come as easy in terms of progressing in our industries as much as it can be as easy for those who are European, white, Western, and all that stuff, right? So you're a chemist, right? You're a chemist by trade. You also have the identity as a Black woman. You also have the identity as a Nigerian woman. You also have, other identities that, make up who you are. And your character is what you have to carry with you. And then that's why I also got very upset at Uche for coming at your, your business and your background, because the one thing that you can never take away from a woman who works as hard as you do is your education. You can verify that, right?
Right.
Like, so don't make a mockery of a person who's already done so much to get to where she's gotten to. And especially because she's in a group or a part of a population of people who have to work probably 10 to 20 times as hard in that field, right? We can have a whole other conversation about what it feels like for you to be a woman in STEM, but then also the added element of what it feels like to be a Black woman in STEM, what it feels like to be a Nigerian woman in STEM, like those type of things. That's a conversation all in of itself, right? So I do agree with you that Love is Blind, like, the way that they try to portray you is something that you have to like now fix in order for you to actually have a brand that actually goes off. But what I will say is, Miriam, as negative as they try to portray you, right? Sometimes they do say like, all publicity is good publicity. For me, like when I was confused about what it is that you did, I hope like for people who were like me, I went and looked you up to find out what you did. And I think that drives more people to your business. Hopefully, through all of the background public work that you have to do to like turn this around. So there's also, I try to make a positive spin out of it too as well. That hopefully it just continues to drive more people to your business because they want to actually know who you are and what you do. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you for saying that. I agree. I mean, that's what I've been trying to do is like turn it around for the better, but it's honestly so challenging and it's not easy. And like, it's also frustrating knowing that I have to do this. Like, why should I have to do this? I shouldn't have to do this. This is unnecessary. It would have been better if you guys just left me out of the edit versus having, making me go through this nonsense just so you could get like some good TV.
Have you been in contact with anyone since the reunion? And have they made any type of stride to potentially clear this up and fix this for you? Or have they just left you out to dry? That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And it's the unfortunate story that we always have to go through. You know what I mean? We are, all three of us actually are women in STEM. So we 1000%, and we don't, we're not women in STEM on the platform that you have, but at the same time, still you are not deserving of what you are going through. And we will do everything that we can. That's why we want to give you this platform to share. So that way we can do what we can to elevate that and have people see like, hey, whatever you saw, they got it wrong. And we're here to fix it. This is actually who this woman is. This is actually what she does. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I really appreciate that. You guys are so awesome.
Before we get to questions from our audience, I was personally curious, what was the origin of the name Zach and Lucy?
Of course. So Lucy's from my mom's name, Lucia.
Nice. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Her skin is gold, and she put me onto shea butter. So I was
nice,
like, okay,
nice.
name in here somewhere, somehow. And then I wanted a name that would go very well with Lucy, and also like expand the what's the word? I didn't want the brand to have a name that was gender exclusive, you know. I wanted like all genders to be able to look at, you know, from even hearing the name of the brand, be like, oh, maybe there's something here for me, you know. And so I was brainstorming, and my close friend's granddad, he's passed away now. His name was Zach, and so I was like, Zach and Lucy sounds
That's
amazing.
such a smart business decision.
Yeah, it is.
Very smart move. I love that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. So we got a few questions from our audience. Some of them I think have been asked and answered. Some of them, just a few. So I'll probably just pick a few that weren't asked or answered. Okay, we already asked, where do you really live and work? Okay.
I'm in Houston, living and working.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I guess you can answer. So you are currently in Houston. Beautiful. And that was a question from realiTEA_recap. And I guess one person just really wanted you to know that you are officially the favorite part of the show this season. Your realness, your power, your degrees. This woman is everything, and that comes from TGI Katie on Instagram. So you did make an impact. Yes, you did make an impact in some way. All right. Yes. So Miriam, you've experienced it, you've seen it happen and watch it play out. Now we are here today. Do you have any regrets now that you have gone back and you've seen everything play out?
Whew. I mean, I'm sure this goes without saying. My biggest regret is that scene from episode 1.
Yeah.
The way that scene was portrayed. I wish that never happened.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, do I have any other regrets? I wish I wasn't so rushed with my hair and makeup for most of filming.
But you look gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I guess. No. I guess I don't have any other regrets other than those. I mean, it was an interesting experience. Definitely had its ups and downs. It was quite emotional. It was traumatizing when it was all over. And it's been, challenging dealing with all the online reactions day in, day out. And every day I don't know what I'm going to expect. And so I'm now learning how to just deal with like all these online comments and posts, the negative ones. But I'm thankful for the connections that I've made from the show and, other things that have happened after the show. Some of the girls are really, really lovely. And I am thankful for the friendships that, we have now. And
Yay. Awesome.
Yeah. I've heard from some of the other girls too. They're like, like the friendships that they've made, they didn't come out of it with love, but they came out of it with friendships. And I think that has been really, really nice to watch.
That's a common theme.
Okay. So Miriam, before we end the show, we're just going to ask you this question. And so you just tell us your honest answer to this question as best as you can. So, is love blind?
No.
Yeah.
Right. There we go.
I will keep it real. I do not think love is blind.
Good.
Oh, gosh.
And if they needed that answer to decide on whether or not this experiment
works.
Yeah, I mean, statistically speaking,
yeah, it doesn't.
Given the ratio of successful versus unsuccessful marriages, it's logical to say that.
Right, that it's not blind.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the reality of things.
Absolutely.
But it does make very good TV.
Yes. Yes.
Is this also good? Because
I mean, we know there's gonna be a Love Is Blind 6.
There is,
season,
and that's
right?
true.
It's already coming up.
Well, so I guess so.
But I think the show is going to take a different turn coming up after that season a little bit with everything that's going on and with all the non-successes that they've had
we hope so.
at the show. Like the very first season, I think, was the real season of Love Is Blind, it was really an experiment, and we really came out of it with people that, that succeeded and that loved each other. But now it's just a show. But yeah, Diana.
I think that, I don't know, given how crazy and like freaking messy our season was, next season might be very chill. Let's see. Let's see who's gonna top this madness.
I know. This season 5, y'all were cutting up
again.
This was a season for sure. But Miriam, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your experience, your perspective. We really appreciate you. Are a phenomenal, brilliant woman. So thank you again so much for shedding light on what you went through, who you are, and allowing our audience to get to know you some more. So I guess it's now time for our cheers. But you have water. Use your coffee because I guess it's bad luck.
All right.
Cheers is water.
By the way, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. You guys are both so sweet and equally impressive.
Thank you.
I love the discussions we've had on this podcast.
Yeah.
You guys ask really interesting questions.
Thanks.
And you are very well paced. And,
thank you.
Aw, thanks.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. This is to continued success of Zach and Lucy, and everything that you set your mind and your heart to. May it always see the eyes of success. All right.
Amen.
Yes, amen to that.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, I love it. By the way, I love this added segment that you guys have with the drinks. I think you should keep it going. That's so fun.
We want to thank you, Miriam, so much for joining us. And we hope one day to have you back on just to talk about your business or just to dish with us on some reality TV that you may be watching. But everybody, thank you so much for listening. And we wish you all a good night, good morning, good evening.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.
Bye.